Hello. Happy Tuesday to you. Wow. Our new moon is tomorrow. I knew for sure this baby was bringing presents. I knew for sure that the presents were going to have mixed reactions in my body because I know that anytime I'm creating and going into a new space, it's unfamiliar. So newness, uncertainty, but I still want it. I still want it. So I'm going to still create with it. I think that's my favorite way of practicing being brave is when I get a new idea and I start to feel inner doubt. I'm just like, wait. If I'm getting this idea, the idea is coming from my intuition. My intuition and my alignment are coming from me being on purpose. If I'm getting this idea and I'm feeling a little nervous, it's just showing me where I get to stretch and grow now. So this past last week or two, it's been kind of that. I knew that something was going to be coming to a culminating point this week. And even the way that it appeared last night was interesting and unique. The mail had already come. And then the mailman came back to bring said letter. And it's so funny because my mind, my energy knew this letter would appear. Even though I had very much enjoyed entertaining the idea that maybe it wouldn't. In energy in our life, in manifesting, things are always moving and always changing when you are keeping up to speed with yourself. If I'm asking for new and exciting things, and I am, if I'm planning and growing with my work, with my homeschooling, with my physical body, with my spiritual life, with my connection to community, if I'm growing all of this on purpose and something appears out of the seeming nowhere, I didn't do it on purpose, hello, it's here. This means that I've moved myself closer to that. I didn't know I was ready for that because it was over there. But now that I am here, I can see that's exactly what I was moving forward to anyway all along. So I kind of was thinking about this the past couple of days. When you're in a queue and your turn is next, you're kind of paying attention. You are standing in line. You don't want somebody else to take your place. You know what I mean? You're ready. You've been in line. You're ready. You are in the queue. And I feel like when you're in alignment and you're living with yourself, that's how it feels. You know your part. You're up next. So when the universe presents you with an opportunity, you could call it an obstacle. It's up to you. But when you're presented with an opportunity, you get to flex your creative muscles. You get to flex, how well can I think about this and me? How well can I think for myself, even in this scenario? And this takes practice. This is what, I don't like to rate things, but sometimes it helps. I'm a measurer and a counter. I like to give ranges, even in manifesting. I'm always obsessed with, how many days is to do this part? And the universe is always like, girl, please. I'll still ask, though. I'm still going to ask because I still want to know. Thank you for the follow. So today, I woke up thinking a few barely even whole thoughts. And I heard my brain say, I have time, I have money, and I have the universe. Basically, I don't give up. Because it's like when I was younger, I used to always say, wait, I got a plan and I'm loaded. I usually had thoughts and prayers of a plan, and loaded meant I got the balls to pull it off. You know what I mean? That was sort of what I meant, but it always worked. Once I got into that space, everybody knew, thank God. Because otherwise, it was just like Tasmanian devil all around me. So I want to talk a little bit about Tuesdays specifically, because I love a dang Tuesday. I love Tuesday so much. And I began Loving Tuesdays on purpose because I needed something. I was upside down in my relationship, upside down in my marriage, upside down in my whole life. All I did, I was a mom of 2 at the time. I was married in a relationship that didn't feel loving or really felt very transactional and businessy, if I'm being honest. And I'm so used to like being felt. Like, I'm a Libra. I've been loved. I just tell my ex-husband all the time, I know what it feels like when somebody loves me, and I don't even think you like me. No, he would say. Anyway, once upon a time, I was trying not to suffer in my life. The life that was supposed to be everything I worked so hard for. All the dreams came true. Turns out that shit was a nightmare. So I'm in the life, and I'm not loving it, and I'm literally trying constantly to make balance. And the way that I was making balance before was by taking more away from me. I'm not finding good space with my partner. Maybe I need to take more from me. I don't have enough time to do this. I need to take more time from me. Meanwhile, I was the only one pouring into our family, pouring into our relationship. And anybody who was there would know I'm not at a place where I have to prove or like gain you're on me side, you're on spoon side. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Everybody that was there knows y'all saw him at the bar more than you knew he was at home. That's all I can. Everybody, no, not everybody. Handfuls. People's knew, you know. And here I was at home trying. And back then I was trying to make it. So I decided that there are 7 days in a week. It's obvious that this person that I have decided to make family with, he thinks that he gets all the days of the week because he was born with an outward reaching expenditure. I have no idea why he really thought that, but that's what he thought. It was this idea that the woman stays home with the babies and the man just gets drunk and makes money and probably cheats on me. Okay, so I don't know. Yes, I do. And you guys know it too. So I don't care anymore. Like, seriously, I don't care. People have called me and said, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. I should have told you sooner. Yeah, probably. But thank you. Thank you. So all along I'm in this life. And I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to find happy. I'm trying to carve my way into it. Hey, good morning. So I decided that me and my kid's dad, we met at a bar. We were both, are you crazy? I'm 100% crazy and something. So we were both like party animals. We called ourselves social creatures. We were both codependent and slightly addicted to everything that was around us. But, whatevs. Tomato. You know what I'm saying? We was both tomatoes. But I just believed that when he said he wanted a family, he was going to do that. Surprise! That didn't happen. It's this green. Army green. So, I decided in my brain, years into this dynamic where it felt like I was in prison on purpose. I felt like I put myself in prison. So I'm there, lifing, trying not to drown. Anybody who knows how I almost took myself out knows how funny that is. So I'm there, lifing, and I get up this idea, because I didn't want to break up my marriage, but I also was like really, really angry and frustrated all the time. So I came up with this bright idea to the partner. I says, life isn't very fair here. I'm never able to leave the house. I don't have time without the children. I don't know. All of my income goes back into food and diapers and resources. Meanwhile, you get haircuts and new clothes every day. I'm wearing the same things that I found in a Goodwill bin when I was 15. Shit's wonky. May I please have Tuesdays? Spoonie, may I please have Tuesdays to go out and have a life? So he says, yes. Yes, you pain in the ass wife. You may have Tuesdays. I'm sure he griped and grumbled about it. Because almost every Tuesday he would be pissed that it was his day to stay home and exist in the same space where he had swore to goodness he wanted it. How do you think I am? So finally, I started making Tuesdays my day. Tuesday was the day. And every week I would look so forward to my Tuesday night. I was playing Cinderella for like 10 years. Maybe 7, because I guess a few of them I never even had the Tuesday, But I'd be in the house doing my little chores, making the dinner, loving the babies. So that as soon as Papa Dukes came in and blessed me with his approval, I would be able to go out into the world. And so I would go out into the world and immediately try to numb and shush and rebel in my brain and in my energy. I would go right to, I'm pretty sure I would always make sure I had the extras before I even had my first beer. At that point, I had been partaking in the booger sugar for about 10 years, and I was only doing it once or twice a week if I'd go out, but I always had to have it. I don't know what that means, but you're a Scorpio, so we are way alike. I'm a Scorpio cusper, so that means I'm not as transformatively dark as you, darling Scorpio, but I can see it. And I would make you crazy because I will strive for balance right at the edge of the pits of hell. I'll be like, but wait. Gets on my nerves too. So I decided that Tuesday would be the day. And Tuesdays really served me for years. I would go out, thanks for the follow, all by my dang self. Just so you know, there aren't a lot of things happening on a Tuesday night. That was my night out. That was the night that I would try to convince all my friends. Yes. Yes, I would say yes then. Thanks for the follow. So I would try, and I did. I tried like a motherfucker every week. Hey guys, I would try to rally. It's going to be so fun. The coolest thing was I always had a seat. The bartenders had time to talk to me. Even when I went through my drinking sabbatical and still went to the bar because that's the kind of crazy I am, I still went on Tuesdays, and it was still nice to see the Tuesday people. It was kind of awesome. Once I got to a place where that was done, and now I will say, the universe is hilarious. Pretty much the funniest motherfucker you ever met. And sometimes you'd be like, that's what I do with the universe a couple times a week. I'm like, hold on, I like it. I like it. That's the Libra in me. First I'm like, I freeze, and then I'm like, don't do it, Nancy. And then I'm like, okay. So yesterday I was listening and hearing about different people in our lives, people and things that sort of help us shape our next creation, make our next move, or unfold our next manifestation. They add to the soup. Do you know those numbers? So I was actually surprised that my friends didn't know what those numbers were, but do you know what those numbers are? Because I will give you the biggest high five. I was so surprised my friends didn't know what those numbers were. So the funny thing about that is, I'm the kind of person who, I'm either wanting to be invisible. I had a feeling. I'm wanting to be invisible, or I want to be front and center with lights. You know what I mean? Oh my God, thanks. So it's really weird how I'm either this or that. I go out into the world looking like a potato who wants to be invisible. Or I'm like, hey everybody, how you doing? What's going on? And it's not all the time that middle speed is around, you know? So yesterday I'm hearing in my brain about this creation swirl I'm in, and I want to be excited because every time you get to do something, you get to be better at it. And in the beginning of learning this, the things that I was getting to do were kind of shitty and sucky. You know, taking a break from drinking is hard work. Quitting substances that you've been using for 10 years is hard work. Losing weight, whether you're doing it on purpose or just not sure about it, it felt like hard work. Letting go of depression and sadness felt like hard work. Realizing that I was codependent and then stopping that, learning how to say no, was hard work. Realizing and letting myself know that, you know, I have been trying this. I have done this dance. I have done my part, and it's not happy. I'm probably gonna have to do like they say in that poem and walk away. Love ain't here no more. I'm trying to go. I gotta go. What? Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Exactly. So those were hard, you know, and it did. It felt hard the first time the cheese got moved. You know, the first time it felt like the floor got yanked from beneath me. I was like, oh shit. And I panicked and I flailed. And then the next time, it was kind of like, oh shit. I feel like I'm going to be okay. I don't know why. I want to believe I'm going to be okay. Please God, let me be okay. It was more certain, but it was definitely doubtful. Definitely doubtful. And now this space, because I would guess if I'm looking at the ways that this has unfolded, this would be the third time that this has happened. And this time I am so much more prepared with myself and with my alignment, with my energy, with the universe, with money, with ideas than I was before. It's almost like, sure, I could be anxious. I could be like curious, like what the fuck? What's gonna happen? Or I could be excited. I could be like, I'm about to get new presents. Because every time I move and I find joy and I'm living in alignment, I'm living in alignment. I'm doing. But as I'm living intuitively, as I'm moving in the direction of all that I want that wants me back, there are going to be moments where I come into a situation and I'm not fully prepared. I didn't know the universe was about to like give me supersonic powers. I didn't know that present was here. But am I going to push it away? Nope. I'm going to let myself land. You know, when I knew this weekend this would happen, but you know, it's like when you know it and then when you have the evidence, it's a different knowing. So once the evidence appeared, it wasn't total shock, but it was like, okay, we're here now. Let's land this in our body. And at first I was a little like, but not really, because I've done this before. And you know, I don't know if you've ever like looked at scary movies or been in haunted houses or played pranks on your friends. After you get spooked and freaked out so many times, it kind of loses its appeal. I don't think I'm that scared anymore. What's really going to happen? I'm going to get a bigger house. I'm going to live in a better place that I never knew existed. I'm going to find even more magic than this. The universe knows how much I love this. And it's moving. Oh, shit. I better get all myself comfortable for all my presents because I'm about to get everything I want. Everything I have done is aligned. Everything I listen to, it comes from my intuition. That's Rose. So if something isn't going right, I only have one thing to talk to. Hello, God. It's me. And at that point, it's pretty much done. Because I haven't met another single human who is more powerful than my energetic soul stream. Like, We are cool, we are snazzy, we are sexy, we're funny, but we are not a soul stream. It's kind of like, you cool, but that's cooler. And the best part about that is that we are all of that. We get to be this really cool, awesome people and part of God or the universe or source or energy. And it's shined up. It's shined up. You got the cream of the crop. You got the best of the best. Just living here, waiting to come out and help you, to inspire you, to guide you, to support you, to remind you, to encourage you, to quiet and soothe you, to help relax you. Thank you for the follow. It's there for you. And it's kind of like, so I learned to drive in a manual transmission, God, that's so much fun. If you've never driven a stick, please do that before all these stinky stinkersons take all the good things away. Let yourself play in that car and feel. It feels like Mario Kart. It's so fun. But I learned to drive in a stick, and there were times when I was in that experience where you would forget to take the emergency brake off, but you could feel the resistance, you could feel, so you take it off. Before I learned to lean into my energy, to listen to my energy, to trust my intuition, it just felt like I was always driving around with the emergency brake on. Whether it was, I was pretty scared shitless of everything happening to me, which was pretty true. I am a recovering chicken shit. I'm like a older version of a know-it-all, afraid of everything. That's all I was. And now I know nothing and I ain't afraid of shit. I like it way better over here. Because once I know something, it is done. That's the power of my free will and my intention and being the one that gets to drive my energy. Once my brain decides something about a situation, it is done. And if I haven't decided, it isn't done. So when I wake up this morning and I hear, I got time, I got money, and I got the universe, I felt like I put on a fur coat and I was strutting. I'd never been to Las Vegas, but maybe I was there. I was just like, yeah. I was sassy shouldering. And trust me, there are plenty of parts of this that are not my favorite. I don't like carrying heavy things. But I do love making a house. I'm really good at it. I've been really good at it. Even when I was single and I was kind of fucked up, people loved being in my home. They loved the way that I could make a home feel so good and so loving and so gooding like pudding. And I have a riff of good, but sometimes shit's just good. And this has been my most favorite. This felt like God literally came down and was like, hey, yo, go over there. I was like, okay. And he was like, eh. And I was like, all right. And then I just got here, I was like, what? Like, the way that this worked out shouldn't have worked out this way. And the way that this worked out so many times bigger and better than I had expected. Like, not exaggerating. I could cry right now. I love it so much. I'm so proud of it. I'm in love with it. So if God is taking that away from me, it's because I'm getting more to be in love with. I'm getting more to grow into. And of course, I'm satisfied. And I'm always excited to be here. So that just means I get to be satisfied and always excited to be wherever I'm going. And it's like, I woke up this morning and not a single second did I feel fear or trepidation or anxiety. I was just like, oh shit. It's like I'm at the racetrack and we are about to pedal to the metal, no emergency brakes. And I can't wait to see how it works out. I can't wait. Like, I went to sleep. I fell asleep so easy. And that's always my sign. When I can tell my body to relax and we go, I know I've got something going right. That's like thumb on the pulse. If I can let my body rest and replenish herself, my brain ain't too stressed out. And if my brain ain't stressed out, my energy ain't stressed out. And if my energy is not stressed out, well, then I'm good to go. So I'm just going to do that. You know, I have so many parts of this puzzle. And again, I have the parts because I live with my intuition. I live in alignment. When you're living that way, even when things come up that feel like, oh, poo, I didn't order that, you're still ready. You're still prepared. And now you know how to use chopsticks. So it's like, this was exciting. And that's that. You know, Tuesdays can go from a place of, once upon a time, it was my best try of trying to take back some power, trying to take back some life, trying to say, I deserve something, you know? And you know what? I'll never stop a little bit of these for all you friends who thought it was so funny to make fun of me for my Tuesdays, knowing what I was going through. Just so you know, I feel this way about you. But, you know, we've all been that kind of an asshole friend before. I'm totally fine with everybody who chose Spoon and not me. Everybody got who they deserved. Why are my cats crying? I just said them. All day long, mama. I'm just going to be singing and dancing and partying and being excited. And that's that. I just don't know what else to do. I think that I'm going to do this, and then something else is exciting going to happen. And I think it's going to blow my mind. I think it's going to blow my mind, guys. I can feel welling in the eyeballs because of how much I think I'm going to get my mind blown. Because I did hear, you know, you guys remember the story. I got off work, big old mean old cranky tree, and I was sitting in Fraser's looking at the Zillow. I had already applied to 2 houses that I was more than qualified for. I had all the dollars, everything should have just worked. I looked at this ad, and it wasn't anything spectacular except the backyard. And I was like, and it was like $50 cheaper than the other 2 houses. So I wasn't sure though, because I didn't know, I never heard of the area. I'm like, where the heck is that? You know? So I go into the Fraser's, into the bar, and work was annoying, and I sit down next to someone, and they were kind of like, kind of irking me, but Richard, that's such a weird thing to do. Like, nobody believes those things. Yeah, and that's just not the way that would work. You know, it's such a weird thing. Such a weird thing. But yeah, I sort of forgot where I was going because Richard's over here being a fucking weirdo. You know what they say? Don't talk about it, be about it. You're just nothing but fluff. It's like, seriously, it irritates me when people mess with other people. So I'm always gonna like let you know, especially if you're in my space. Every guy that has, not every guy, because some of you have just been blocked, but Yeah. I don't have any space for jerks and assholes. I lived with enough of that for like the first 37 years of my life. Now I'll just be like, oh, you're a jerk and an asshole? Bye. I prefer not those. So yeah. This morning I was thinking about all the people in our life that tell us we can't, and they try to hold us back, and they tell us that we're not good enough, or, we better be careful. We shouldn't do that. I think about all of those people, and at this space in my life, I don't keep people in my bubble anymore like that. I'm not going to ask you if you answer me like that. Maybe back in the day I would, because I just felt like I wasn't even worthy of having friends or support or someone that was kind to me. But now, you can fuck right off. So it's like, but that's how it has to happen. We have to let ourselves conquer our inner bully. And our voices that says, when I used to mess up, I'd be like, oh, you're so fucking stupid. I would say that all the time. Just like that. You're fucking stupid. Ugh, God. Or look in the mirror and I'm like, God, you're so fucking ugly. I fucking hate your body. I would just be so mean to me all the time. And I literally remember thinking it doesn't matter because nobody can hear it. And then when I learned that I hear it, every single cell in my body, every single, all the way down to my feet, hear that. Every fucking word, every feeling about how bad I was, I just kept. And unsatisfied, unhappy, mad, resentful, bitter. It wouldn't stop. It almost took me out. I wanted to run to get away from myself. And I finally, now there's no parts of me that would hurt me. There are parts of me that would hurt you 10 times before they let you hurt me. They will be like, God forgives us. Pow, pow. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for all of us to be that way. Because if we are all loving and wanting to do the right thing by ourselves first, we ain't going to want to go out and be assholes to other people. We ain't going to want to go out and hurt others and suppress and manipulate and all those other things that we do, sometimes subconsciously, sometimes on purpose. So yeah, Tuesday's about telling the truth. The truth shall set you free. I'm comfortable in my truth. Like, very comfortable, And I think that was one of the first spots where I could see things were changing. I was like, you know what? I don't actually care if anybody else. So last night I had that moment. It was actually huge. The information came, right? We knew it was coming. It came. I let myself hear it. I messaged one person who also knew it was coming. I'm not the kind of person who likes to keep people waiting. When I have people that are supporting me and loving me, I like to keep them on time with me. When I am through the worry, concern, please support me with your energy, I'm going to be like, we're good, we're gold, thank you. But as long as I'm saying, I'm thinking, creating, use your energy with me, support me, I want them to be on time with me. I don't want them to spill thoughts into my creation because I've invited them, so I'm allowing it. This is all you and you. The only time other people get to interject into your manifestation, into your life, is when you ask and let them, when you accept and allow them. But otherwise, this could be all you. You could never, ever, ever ask or request something from another again and still get everything you wanted. If you could so truly believe that you were worthy and it was all going to work out. I cannot tell you how many times over these past 10 years that I have really thought or wondered something and never said a word. From things like having a discussion about carpenter bees to turning the corner and seeing Peace Park and the deer and feeling so much love. Like, I walked in this house and it was like so much love. I know it's gonna be that good. This was born from uncertain and just hope and wish. I was working hard to stay aligned. And now I'm going to work not hard. I'm going to align, and I'm going to trust, and I'm going to see. You know? Because I'm excited. I'm just excited. And it's like a new thing, so I'm like, but it's also bittersweet because I don't do anything that I don't want to do. Everything that I do, I love doing. So sometimes it feels sad to think maybe this is the last time I would do this, you know? But not the last time I'll do it forever. Just the last time I get to do it right here. Thank you. So I like to write a lot, and I have already written one book. I have to finish the editing and obviously publish it. But my second book is literally called Nancy Cries. and I think that, you know, it's been a huge part of my like healing work. One minute I wasn't allowed to cry, next minute I cried and nobody cared, and now I just let my freak cry flag pour all over the place. My kids will always be like, Mom, are we crying because we're happy or we're sad? Thank you. So my first book is just going to be like an information book, like a resource about our inner selves and how to navigate like an awakening. And then the second book is just going to be more about like my personal journey, just living and growing up like in default learning of myself and energy, and then how I was able to learn and cry a lot and let myself like figure it out, you know? It's cool to learn that all of the things they have told us aren't really true, you know? Like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's not true. That is not true. And I'm not trying to call myself a dog or old, but considering where I was in my ruler of years when this all learned to me, I would be not considered young. You know? Considering the fact that I thought I had figured it out and life was just what it was, and I was all wrong. Like, I understood what people called a midlife crisis. I didn't think I was having that. I was having definitely a rock bottom. but not like, I didn't find it to be like a midlife crisis. I just felt like, oh, life just sucks. Period. And now, you know, it's really cool to be this many years young and feeling like it's almost like, and this is kind of different for everybody depending on where you are. But you know how when you're like a teenager and you turn 20, you start feeling kind of like a real grown up. You still can't buy booze yet, most places. But this feels like something, you know? It's kind of like that. It's like when you understand your energy and you go through that awakening, it's sort of like Maryland. It's like that. You're kind of getting to do things all different. You were never 20 before, you know, and now you are. And you weren't being on purpose before, and now you are. And it really doesn't matter how many dances you've danced, how many Tuesdays you've fucked up, how many bars you've been kicked out of. None of those things matter. How many times you made mistakes. You can find your way back to wholeness and worthiness and goodness and happy. Like, I was such a cheesehead all through my life. The only thing I just kept saying, I just want to be happy. What do you want to be when you grow up? I just want to be happy. No, you need a job. I mean, can I just be happy? Could I be happy at whatever job I happen to job? Could I just be happy first? And so, yeah, it's true because it's cool because it's true. It's true because I always knew it was there, and I didn't stop wanting that. And that was almost the kind of the thing that helped me get to the rock bottom. Like, being like, okay, I did this, I'm doing this, and this is it. I guess it's just not going to work for me, you know? And every single day I wake up and I realize that in fact, it does work very well. Either way, have a lovely day. But yeah, I'm going to get off here and get into this day. Tuesday is a super powerful communication day. It's aligned to our throat chakra, and I like to let my throat chakra work. Sometimes I like practicing speaking loud or opening my mouth really wide to let sound come out of it. Do a little whale talk. But yeah, I like to know that my words deserve to take up the space, and they deserve to land in the ears that hear them. You know, I deserve to be here, have an opinion, speak and say what I feel, and call it into my experience. So, yeah. And I know that we are all that too. We are all the same there. You know, we are all equally adored and supported and appreciated and wanted by our higher self. You know what I mean? The universe wants you just like you are. Not like how others say you gotta be so that they like you better. They want you the way that you like your burger, the way that you wear your clothes, the way that you brush your hair, the way that you like all the things that you do. The universe wanted that by you, from you, just like you do it. And in the beginning, I would never believe that. I would have never understood that. I could have never appreciated that. But it's true. And I love to know that. I love to know that I got time, I have resources, and I have the universe. And I'm literally always knowing that the universe has my back. So even when a bump in the plan seems to be like not my favorite, I know that anything that is presenting crunchy or difficult or unasked for is just a trick. Because something that I want that I haven't realized I'm ready for is just on the other side of it. And I'm just going to let myself go and have it. And that's cool. That's what you get after practice. You know, the first couple times I did this, I was like, oh God. It was a lot of this. It worked. That's what it was. I was like, oh shit. It worked. And now it's like, if that worked with doubt, what will this do with certainty? Exciting. All right, friends, have the most terrific Tuesday ever. If you have any questions about this or anything that I'm ever sharing, please let me know. The scheduling for my online scheduling should be in all of my profiles. And if you have any trouble navigating that, guy, let me know. If you are finding yourself in that and you're not getting an appointment fast enough, just reach out. I have it set up so that it can't schedule me more than a day ahead of time, so I don't miss anybody, because a lot of times I schedule my people in the day. So if you're finding that and you're like, oh my God, I can't see her till Thursday, and it doesn't feel like you want to wait that long, just reach out, because we could just bypass that part and do sooner. Toodaloo, Magoo. Bye-bye for now. Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you.